Why did I do that? Good morning. Good morning. Happy, what's today? Friday. TGIF, everyone. Good morning.
I'm sure you know by now that there...
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Ooh, my neck. Lord. Good morning. Oh, good morning, Miss Malika. Happy Friday. Good morning, Miss Wild Horses. Happy Friday, TGIF, everyone. Happy Friday. Good morning, Miss Adiola. Good morning, Miss Cassandra. Good morning, Miss Aloma. Happy Friday. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. Miss Cassandra, please make sure to share with everyone your update if you would like. I don't want to share it. It's not my story to share. That's what I would say. Yes, we made it to Friday. Aw, thank you, Davina. Good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning, Miss Nene. Good morning, Miss On Island. Good morning, Miss Janicia. Did I say good morning, Miss T. Miller? Good morning, Miss T. Miller. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Carol Ann. I don't know if it's April. I forgot to take out my bunny cups. I got my bunny cups. Uh-oh. Good morning, Namratha. Oh, I don't know. The more and more I do this, the more we have different people. We'll just say that. Good morning, Miss Shamika. Happy Friday. Okay, so I'm going to just read what you said, Miss Cassandra, just in case people don't catch it. But Miss Cassandra said, thank you all for your prayers. My granddaughter, Haley Butcher, I think she had a virus in her lungs. They're okay. They're giving her meds. It looks like she'll be going home this weekend. So prayer works. Thank you. Prayer works. Thank y'all so much for y'all prayers for Miss Cassandra. Miss Cassandra, people who watch the replay, they pray for you as well. They commented, Miss DG, some other people. So I'm glad that she will be home this weekend. Yes, prayer works. Praise God. Oh, y'all let me know if y'all can't hear me or if it's glitchy or anything like that. Y'all make sure to let me know, okay? I think I'm gonna mess with y'all back there for a long time. Good morning, Mr. Tarsa. Happy Friday. Yay. Good morning, Miss Stacy. Yes, I appreciate y'all ladies being here. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Michelle. Happy Friday. Okay, thank you, Miss Adiola. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here with me. Thank y'all for spending some time with me, whether it is live or watching the replay. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I'm grateful for y'all ladies. Good morning, Miss Stacy. Happy Friday. Thank you, Miss Cassandra. We are grateful for you. Listen, I'm to the point where I know when like some of y'all ladies don't show up, like I know. Girl, that's that rose hip oil. I put it on before I come on here. Thank you, Miss Shamika. I put that on before I come on here, okay? Good morning. Good morning, Miss Josie. I don't, Hey. So, good morning, Miss Gail. Happy Friday. Good morning, Miss Natasha. You use it nightly? Yes. That oil, I put it on in the morning. I don't use it at night because it does put that on there. I don't want that on my pillow. But when I wake up in the morning, I put it on. Okay. Is that Van Cleef necklace legit? It is from TJ Maxx, so that would be a no. If you really must know. It's definitely working. Yeah, it has my skin. I highly recommend it. In the little bottle, I am just now running out. I think I've had that for over a month now, and I'm just now running out. And I pretty much used it almost every day. So I gotta go to Ulta. I gotta get that, and I gotta get my Urban RX, that serum. I love that too. Thank you, Miss Natasha. Thank you. All right, let's get started because your girl got to go in there and start baking. We have a very busy weekend. It is Pork Chop's birthday party this weekend. He is turning 1. He is turning 1 on the 22nd of this month, but his parents decided to have his party this weekend. Good morning, Miss Niecy, baby. Happy Friday. They decided to have his party on tomorrow, so I have some treats and stuff that I am making for his birthday. If y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all saw in the stories, my baby is taking steps, okay? He is stepping around this house. He is very excited to be stepping, okay? And we are very excited somewhat for him to be stepping to, because y'all already know he's gonna be into everything. Okay, he already be into stuff, but he's going to be into everything. So his birthday party is tomorrow. His birthday's on the 22nd. He'll be 1. And then my birthday is next Wednesday. I will be 47. My husband won't be in town. He won't be in town until next Friday. But I do have something planned with Sheena. We're going to go to a perfume making class and brunch. And then I just want to come home and take a good nap. I don't want my kids to be like, girl. No, I just want to come home and take a good nap. That's what happens when you get on up there in age, right? Yes, come on, big stepper. Yes, Po Chop. He is going to be 1. It happens so fast. Oh my gosh. Time is just flying. Like, it is so precious. Yes. So, and I got to take these braids down because I'm getting my braids redone next week. What is that? Y'all know they're working on our street. So anyway, let's get started. So today is day 5, and we are talking about learning to say no without guilt. I feel like we touched on this before, but we're going to dive a little deep, okay? Our Bible verse is Matthew 5:37, okay? I want you to listen and listen clearly. It says, let what you say be simply yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil. Matthew 5:37. I know this verse because my mom would say this verse all the time. She would be, let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. Happy birthday to you. Aww. Oh, 28. Oh, okay, 22nd. Okay, yes. Such a great April birthdays are so great. Yes, Matthew 5:37. Thank you, Miss Cassandra, for putting that in there. As the well, y'all know I wrote this essentially for the oldest daughter, but we're just gonna say, as a woman, you may have conditioned to say yes to everything, helping, fixing, supporting, but every yes to someone else is a no to yourself if it is draining you. Jesus teaches that our words should be clear and firm. You do not have to explain or over excuse your boundaries. No is enough. Our journal prompt is, what situations make it hard for me to say no? How can I practice saying no with confidence? Our action item is, practice saying no today. If asked to take on something you don't want to do, respond with a clear, kind, and firm, no, I can't commit to that. So we're going to talk about this, but there is a video, a little excerpt of video I want y'all to see that I actually watched last night. Look at God. He knows, right? And she said something that it blew my mind. But the verse, Matthew 5:37, it says, and I'm reading this from the New Living Translation, just say a simple, yes, I will, or no, I won't. Anything beyond this is from the evil one. And what I believe that this verse is talking about is over-explaining. Over-explaining. So let me let y'all listen to this excerpt. And it's from, y'all let me know if y'all can't hear it. But it is from, I think I told y'all about her yesterday as well. In addition to Dr. Daff.
Figures from home by creating an soft power.
In addition to Dr. Daff, her name is Mrs. Get it right, Mrs. Amanda Ferguson. I follow her on Instagram and YouTube. I really am interested in taking some of her courses, but that's neither here nor there. But she talks about the power of gentle leadership, and there is a part in here where she talks about saying no to your boundaries. So I'm gonna let y'all listen to this. Let me know if y'all can hear it. Okay, hold on. Cause you know what? Let me do it on my laptop.
Ladies over 180 pounds.
Oh gosh.
Start your 7-minute indoor walking routine for cortisol detox. In 1 week, you'll feel better. In 2 weeks.
Okay, that isn't what I wanted. But hold on, y'all. I have it queued up on my I don't know if y'all can hear. I'll just put it here. I believe it starts about, let's see. Oh my God, they're making so much noise outside. Oh my gosh.
And even though they are communicating authority, they're showing that they truly are not in control.
Let me know.
Pay attention to what your body communicates when you are enforcing those boundaries. Is your body open? Do you still have a smile? You know, I taught you smile when you speak because it softens your demeanor. Your yes can be yes and your no can be no, but it doesn't mean that you still can't be warm, you can't be kind, and you can't be clear. So my question for you is your body language communicating gentle leadership? As you are growing in this leadership, I want you to be clear without flinching, apologizing, or tightening. Women often over-explain when they feel unsure. Gentle leadership is firm, not forceful. Here's one thing that I really want you to get today, so lean right into this. Every time you over-explain, you teach people to ignore your first answer. Point number 3, void.
Every time you over-explain, because I wrote this down, you teach people to ignore your first answer. You teach people to forget about the no that you said when you start explaining why or what it's about, or when you add on those extras, they're no longer concerned about your no. In fact, they're even thinking about, well, how can they respond to why you're saying you can't do this? Let your no be your no, your yes be your yes, vice versa. When I read that and then I saw what we were going to be talking about today, I was like, the Lord really be working. He really be knowing. Like, he knew I needed to hear that and share that with you ladies. Every time you over explain, you teach people, to ignore your first answer. So, how can we learn to say no, honor our boundaries without guilt, and stop over explaining? Okay. We are naturally nurturing, compassionate, and giving, but that does not mean we have to say yes to everything. We are not called to people please. We are called to please God, protect our peace, and walk in grace-filled wisdom. Right? He did, Miss Cassandra. Absolutely. Understand that your no is anointed. As the verse says, let what you say be simply yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil. Matthew 5:37. That's our verse for today. A soft and godly woman doesn't need to justify her no. She learns that her discernment is valid. You saying yes to something and you saying no to something is valid. Okay? You do not have to try to analyze it, figure it out. Just that is valid. That's validation. Okay? Your peace is worth protecting. Saying no without guilt is a reflection of your spiritual maturity and your self-trust in Christ. No is a full sentence still wrapped in love. And I'm going to put this verse when I update the description box this morning after we get on here. I'm going to put this, not verse, but this, a link to this video, because you really should watch it. It's talking about gentle leadership, but it applies for every day. Okay. And she talks about making sure that we still smile, that we don't have to be harsh, that we can say no in a good demeanor. It doesn't have to be, because no is negative, it doesn't have to appear that way, right? This makes me see myself over-explaining as a sense of unworthiness. Yes, not feeling that my word is enough or valued. Your word is valid. You just saying no is valid enough. You don't have to over-explain anything. I definitely try to soften my no for the receiver by over-explaining. I needed this. Me too. I needed it too, Miss Anna Island. Yeah, I think that's how we try to soften the blow, by over-explaining why we can't do it, but we don't need to do that. The word says all the extras are not necessary. Let your yes be yes, your no be no. Be firm. Be firm, but still feminine in your response by smiling. You're still warm. No, I won't be able to do that. That's it. No, I can't commit to that. No, that's not in my schedule right now. No, that's kind of still over-explaining. Just no, I'm unable to do that. That's it. Release the fear of disappointing others. Yes, me too, Miss Niecy, baby. Release the fear of disappointing others. Stop assuming that saying no means that you are unkind, cold, or selfish. I'm going to just let that sit there for a minute while I sip my coffee, okay? That's good. When you say no, and I think for me, this is how I felt. I felt like saying no meant I was unkind, cold, or selfish. That's not what saying no means, okay? Saying no to others can mean saying yes to God. You also are not responsible for managing others' emotions. And that comes with surrendering and trusting God, right? Surrendering and not trying to control others' responses to how we move, right? Surrendering and letting go. Lord, you know that I can't do this. I trust that this person will be okay with my response. It got hot in here, y'all. I trust that this person will be okay with my response. And that's it. Stop trying to manage other people's emotions, okay? That's not your job. Your job is simply, as the word says, to say yes or no. That's it. That's all. Your obedience is more important than opinions. Galatians 1:10 says, am I now trying to win the approval of man or of God? A lot of times we put ourselves in situations that God said don't, because we don't want to disappoint others. We don't want to seem mean. We don't want to seem unkind. We don't want to seem selfish, because, the world teaches us saying no is selfish. No, it's not. Sometimes we really have to be obedient and stay out of people's business. Because sometimes it involves us getting involved in people's business. Like the other day when that lady did that at Target in the parking lot. The good Lord said, stay out of that, Nicole. Because again, back in the day, former Nicole would have went, oh, ma'am, listen, look, I could have got ran over. Anything could have happened. In fact, I was obedient enough to listen to move my car. That is how much I said, no, we ain't doing this today. Sometimes you have to take yourself out of situations, okay? You only need to help when you are invited to help and it is obedient. Like you have asked God for wisdom. Should I show up in this situation? Should I go here? Should I say yes? We really need to start praying before even making those decisions and making sure it is in line with what God has for us, with our purpose, the path that he wants us to walk on, okay? And stop being concerned about what other people think of us. Galatians 1:10, let me read that again. Am I now trying to win the approval of man or of God? Yes, remove yourself. Resist the urge to over-explain. Over-explaining often comes from wanting to avoid rejection, feeling like her no needs permission. That is so good. Feeling like her no needs permission. We don't need permission to say no. The word clearly, if you don't learn anything else today, learn that verse. Learn that verse. Feeling like her no needs permission and trying to soften the blow of her boundaries. But now we practice a graceful pause. Thank you for asking. I won't be able to, but I hope it goes well. That's saying it with kindness. Okay, that's still being a feminine woman of faith. That's still being warm. I hope it goes well. I wish you well. That doesn't work for me right now. You said that doesn't work for me right now. Oh, that doesn't work for me right now. At that smile, okay? Don't over-explain it. It just doesn't work for me right now. That is saying no. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'll have to decline. I say that. I'll be like, oh, thanks for thinking of me, but I won't be able to. I won't be able to. I got that one down because I do say that. Give the truth without guilt or a performance. Over-explaining is performing, right? And we know that we are not called to perform for other people. We are called to be obedient. We are called to trust God with our path. We are called to surrender and give up that control and not worry about what other people think. Remember, boundaries are a form of self-respect. Every time you say no, every time you say no when you mean no, sorry, I need to put these glasses on over here. Excuse me. Every time you say no when you mean no, that means that you're saying, I value my peace. I trust my discernment. And I will not betray myself to make others more comfortable. Let me read that again. Every time you say no and mean it, it means that you are saying, I value my peace. I trust my discernment. I trust my decision-making skills. I trust that this is the right answer. I trust that I'm saying the right thing, okay? I trust my discernment. And I will not betray myself to make others more comfortable. I love that because oftentimes we do things that we don't want to do just to make the other person happy. We people please. And that is not what God calls us to do. He calls us to God please, not people please. To please him, not other people. And oftentimes that's why we end up drained, mad at ourselves that we did this thing that we didn't want to do, and all of those things, right? Like borrowing money. I now say I don't have that to loan right now. Didn't say I don't have it, just not to loan to you. You don't even have to say that. No, just say I'm unable to. Just say I'm unable to do that. Sorry. I mean, you ain't even gotta say sorry. I'm unable to do that right now. And that's it. Godly femininity is not passive. And I think that we do think that being feminine is passiveness, and it's not, okay? It is being soft, but still being firm, right? Not hard, but still being firm in your responses and how you do things, because it is treating ourselves well, right? So that we are able to treat other people well. Godly femininity is not passive. It is powerful, gentle, and wise. Protect what God gives you with care and conviction. Okay? You are protecting yourself when you say no when you want to. Like when you say no, when you are unable to do something, when you just simply, and let's get this clear, it's not even if you're able to do it. I think a lot of times we feel like because we're able to do it, we should do it. That don't mean that we should, okay? You don't feel like doing it. You don't want to do it, right? Like loaning the money. You don't want to do that. We know what loaning money can lead to, right? We don't want to do that. Yes, I may be able to. I may have the funds, and that's why I don't even loan money. If someone says they need money, I give what I can give. It ain't a loan. If you pay me back, great. But there's no expectation of that for me. I give you what I can afford to give, and I keep it moving. Because we're not going to have that, oh, me looking at you funny and you looking at like you avoiding me and all that kind of stuff. If I have it and God says go ahead and give it, because sometimes he'll tell me, look, go ahead. It's okay. You'll be fine. And I do it, right? Yes, because if we pray before we move, the yes or no is what God wants us to do, so that brings peace. Absolutely. My no is enough. It's enough. It's enough. You don't need to say or add anything else to it. In fact, the word says don't. When you start explaining, that's letting evil in. Okay? That's letting because oftentimes we can talk ourselves into things. We can talk ourselves into things. We can start off with a no, and then we can be like, well, I'm really not going to have time for that. And then the other person will be like, well, what time do you have? And then you'll be like, oh, well, I could do it on this time. And then when you didn't want to do it in the first place, but you've talked yourself into doing it. You let the evil one come in and change your mind or talk you into doing something that you didn't have no business doing in the first place. Just say no. Like back in the 80s, if you are an 80s child, if you grew up in the 80s, some of y'all was just born in the 80s, but if you grew up in the 80s and you were a little kid in the 80s, I was a little kid in elementary school, and Nancy Reagan came with that just say no. And baby, maybe that's why I can say no a little bit easier, because no, like that was impounded in our head, okay? Just to say no. Just say no. All right. She practices saying yes to alignment, not obligation. We say yes to the things that we are in alignment with, okay? That God has aligned us with, but not because we feel obligated to do so. I feel so many new affirmations coming out of this word. Thank you, God. No is enough. No is enough, Miss On an Island. No is enough. She doesn't say yes just to be liked. She says yes to what is God-led. So let this be kind of a guide. God-led, meaning you prayed about it and you asked God, is this the way that you should move? Is this obedient? Is this aligning with my purpose? Is this aligning with the path that you have me on? So God-led. Peace-giving. Does it give you peace? Okay. Purpose-aligned. We just said that. Life-giving. Do you feel joy by doing this? Like, does it make you happy? Does it bring you joy? Are you going to be doing this with a smile on your face, or are you going to be doing this resenting the activity the whole time? I've done that. I put myself in situations and felt bad the whole time. Attitude just bad. Y'all know how it feels when someone says yes to do something with you and they didn't really want to, but they did just to make you happy, but their attitude is bad the whole time. Like, how many of y'all have dated men like that? How many of y'all have dated men where they just went on and did it? They had a bad attitude the whole time. And you was like, you know what? You should have just stayed home. You should have just stayed home. Okay? Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Don't be that person, because you know how that feels. You know how that feels. That was my ex-husband. he would say no, but he did not want to go. And his attitude would be funky the whole, like, we went on a whole vacation. And if I tell you, we went to Disney World, the happiest place on earth. And if I could tell you, I still have to get over the trauma of that vacation just because his attitude was so bad the whole time. His attitude was horrible. Okay? Like, my husband wants to go to Disney World. I think he said next year, 2026. We want to take the kids, the teenagers, to Disney World. But I got to prepare myself, because it's like, oh, the experience. Like, I haven't been back since. How you have an attitude at Disney World? Anyway. 1 Corinthians 10:23 says, everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Oh, that's a good one. Hold on. Let me get the Bible for that one. That's a good one. Everything is permissible, meaning we can do all things. The Lord says so, right? We can do all things. However, that doesn't mean it's beneficial. That's good right there. Let's read what. Here we go. 1 Corinthians 10:23 says, you say, I am allowed to do anything, but not everything is good for you. You say, I am allowed to do anything, but not everything is beneficial. Let me highlight that. Hold on. We need to highlight that one. Mama! I love that, Miss Cassandra. I love it. Bye. You say, I am allowed to do anything. I am allowed to do anything. You are allowed to do anything, but not everything is good for you. You say, I am allowed to do anything, but not everything is beneficial. Woo, today is good. This is good. This is good. Thank you, Lord. Our affirmation, one of our affirmations can be, I honor God and myself when I set boundaries with grace. My no is holy, my peace is protected, and I do not owe over explanations for obedience. Let me read this again. The devotion, day 5, learning to say no without guilt. Our Bible verse, Matthew 5:37. Listen, I'm gonna be writing this out in my I'm gonna be writing this out, practicing my hand lettering, so I can get this into my heart, because I need to memorize this verse. Let what you say simply be yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil. Matthew 5:37. Our affirmation is, no is a complete sentence. I honor my boundaries without guilt. Our devotion. As a woman, you may have been conditioned to say yes to everything. Helping, fixing, supporting. But every yes to someone else is a no to yourself if it's draining you. Jesus teaches that our words should be clear and firm. Clear. Okay? Saying no is clear on its own. It is firm. When we add all the extra stuff, things become confusing. We talk ourselves into things that we had no business doing in the first place. Okay? You do not have to explain or over excuse your boundaries. No is enough. Our journal prompt is, what situations make it hard for me to say no? And I think that that's a very good journal prompt, to recognize what situations make you say yes. For me, it's my children, my grown children. When they ask me to do something, I may not necessarily want to do it, but because they are my children, I love them so much, I say it. Maybe I'm tired and I can't keep poor Chop because he is a lot, right? He moves around, he does a lot of things. Your girl is getting on up there in age. I'm still consider myself rather young, but you know, because of the things that my body has been through, I do not have the same energy levels as I did. And sometimes I have to say no. I have to say no, and that doesn't mean that I love poor Chop any less, or my daughter, or I don't want to help her. But I have to say no, and I have to learn just to say no. I'm unable to do that today. And keep it like that. And not explain myself, and not say, well, I can't do it at this time. And then she'd be like, well, what time can you do it? Well, I could change it. Just no. Just no. So I think that that is a very good journal prompt. So please, if you can, journal that today, because you need to recognize what situations make it hard for you to say no, so that you can practice saying no when you need to. So you can practice, literally pray about it. Ask God to help you with those situations, and ask God to give you the words to speak, which, he really already has. No, and that's enough. How can I practice saying no with confidence? Yes, do that, okay? It's good to practice these scenarios because that gives you confidence, right? It's not silly. It's not silly to sit up here and talk to yourself. I do it all the time, okay? Because I give myself good advice, thanks to God. I saw somebody say that the other day. Of course, I talk to myself. I give myself awesome advice, right? But there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself, okay? It's nothing wrong with playing these out, these situations. It gives you preparedness, right? Yes, in the mirror. Absolutely, Miss Shamika. Thank you for that. Practice saying no in the mirror. Practice how you're gonna say no. Like she said, and I'll play this from the beginning because it's 8 minutes and we have some time. So I'll play this for y'all if y'all want to listen. Let me know in the chat if y'all want to listen to this, and I'll play it from the beginning. But practice how you're gonna say no. Practice saying it, warm, but with firmness. All of those things. Our action item is practice saying no today. If asked to take on something you don't want to, respond with a clear, kind, and firm, no, I can't commit to that. No, I can't commit to that. No, I'm unable to do that. It's going to be a no for me, but thank you for asking. What else did it say? I gave y'all a whole thing before about saying no, and I need to write that out. I need to write that out and post that somewhere. I think I did post it somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you for asking. I won't be able to, but I hope it all goes well. That doesn't work for me right now. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'll have to decline. So that is what I have for y'all today. Let me know if y'all want to listen to this. I'll go ahead and put it on if y'all want to. If not, we'll go ahead and end for the day. Sorry if y'all hear all that construction. They have gotten to our part of the street, so yeah. It's something. The little money. Okay, Miss Honor Island. I'm gonna play it from the beginning. Again, if you want to follow her on Instagram, it's Mrs. Amanda Ferguson. If you want to follow her or join her channel on YouTube is Life with the Fergusons. This awesome Devotional Day 5. Praise you. Thank you, Miss Cassandra. Thank you, Miss Cassandra. I appreciate you so much. All right.
Soft power isn't candles and neutral colors. It is in iced coffees and satin robes. And to be clear, I love those things. But real soft power, it's when you walk into a room and your feminine presence speaks before you do. So how do you embody that? One word, courage. The courage to be clear but kind. The courage to hold standards without being harsh. The courage to stop explaining yourself when you've already made yourself clear. The courage to stay tender in a world that keeps trying to tear you apart. Because when you walk in that kind of courage, you don't have to fight to be seen. Your presence speaks first, and people lean in, waiting for the weight, wit, and wisdom you carry when you do show up. I have 3 points to teach you today on how to embody gentle leadership. Point 1, diction over drama. To embody this powerful, gentle leadership, know that the voice of a woman in leadership is not loud, it's clear. And she understands the power of diction. Diction is articulation, presence, and confidence. This is why in Feminine Woman Academy, we have a public speaking school. And we also talk a lot about diction, because diction is not about being heard, it's about being received. Clarity is quiet confidence. And know this, your voice shapes the room before your message ever does. What I have found a lot of times when a woman is growing in leadership is that she thinks she's communicating, but actually she's mumbling. Mumbling signals insecurity, but diction signals clarity. It means you know who you are and you know what you're trying to communicate. So make sure as you're growing in leadership, you're also growing in diction. That is how you step into being a powerful woman, that when people hear you speak with power and authority, because you are very clear about what you're saying and you open your mouth. You speak. This is a skill that I have had to learn coming from a southern city where pretty much everyone mumbles, where we say things like Saturday instead of Saturday. I've had to learn how to really articulate my words, and it's something that I'm always practicing. So as you are stepping into this gentle leadership, understand that diction, clarity, and confidence is the presence that you need to be seen as a leader. Number 2, boundaries without tension. Let your yes be yes and your no be no, without flinching, but also without tensing. I've found so much that as women are growing in their leadership, they often communicate their boundaries and their no's, but their jaws tightened, their body stiffens. And even though they are communicating authority, they're showing that they truly are not in control. Pay attention to what your body communicates when you are enforcing those boundaries. Is your body open? Do you still have a smile? You know I taught you smile when you speak because it softens your demeanor. Your yes can be yes and your no can be no, but it doesn't mean that you still can't be warm, you can't be kind, and you can't be clear. So my question for you is your body language communicating gentle leadership? As you are growing in this leadership, I want you to be clear without flinching, apologizing, or tightening. Women often over-explain when they feel unsure. Gentle leadership is firm, not forceful. Here's one thing that I really want you to get today, so lean right into this. Every time you over-explain, you teach people to ignore your first answer. Point number 3, voice sets the atmosphere. If you want to shift a room, do not just change your outfit, change your tone. Because a woman's voice isn't just how she speaks. It sets the emotional climate of her home, her meetings, and her brand. Because you can be dressed like excellence and still sound like chaos. You can wear the blazer, the heels, the fragrance, and yet when people meet you, they meet a battlefield instead of bliss. But when your tone is calm, clear, and composed, people don't just hear you, they feel you. Atmosphere doesn't just follow appearance. It also follows voice. Your tone is what people remember long after your words are gone. Women with soft power don't raise their voice. Remember I told you all that a foolish woman is clamorous, and we know that that means loud, disruptive, and destructive. So women with soft power don't have to raise their voice. You know what they truly raise? The atmosphere. They know how to be a woman of authority, of influence, and a woman that doesn't have to lose control by trying to demand attention instead of commanding it. This is exactly why I created Feminine Woman Academy. It's not just for the ordinary woman, it's for the extraordinary woman who has not just a call to executive presence, but knows that she was made for more. I only accept less than 100.
All right. She has a, if you're interested in that, it's the link in her bio. But I will link the video when we get off of here. But thank y'all. So good. All the points that she made. Like, I'm going to watch this a bunch of times because so good. So good. Like, not raising your voice. And, you know, when you don't raise your voice, like, people have to calm themselves down so they can listen to you, so they can hear you, right? Like, you really do set the atmosphere with your tone, with your body language. Like, those things are, if you've ever taken public speaking, they tell you those things are the most important rather than even the words that you speak. It is how you speak, your tone, your body language. That's like 90%. So, yeah. But, yeah, it was really good. Miss Ashley, Miss Cassandra said she had a good report for Miss Haley. She has a virus in her lungs, but they are treating her with meds, and she should be home this weekend. So she shared that earlier. And she thanks everyone for your prayers. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, y'all, I won't keep y'all any longer. Thank y'all for being here with me. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know I'm so grateful for y'all. Gosh, this was really good today. Taking Toastmasters will help too. Yes, my husband has to do a lot of public speaking now in his new role. A lot of conference calls and stuff. So he was talking about taking a public speaking course, and I had told him about Toastmasters. But baby, I might need to take it too. So maybe that's something we can do together. Yes. So I love y'all. Y'all don't need permission from anyone to say no. Say no. Let your yes be a yes, your no be a no. And keep it moving. We don't need to over-explain ourselves. And we can say it in a nice tone, with warmth, with kindness, but still be firm in our boundaries. So I pray and intend for you to have an amazing weekend. Me and Pork Chop gonna be partying tomorrow. And yeah. Thank you so much, Jeanette. Thank you, Miss Valika. I appreciate that. Y'all have an amazing weekend, and I will see y'all on Monday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Yes. Oh, you having a quiet, peaceful weekend? I know that's right. I know that's right. All right, ladies. Let me get off of here and start baking before Pork Chop get here, because he is on his way. Happy birthday, Pork Chop. I think you, Miss Niecy, baby. All right. I'll see y'all. Bye.